What is up, guys? This is Rise and welcome to another video where I'm going to be showcasing you a team that has been going to absolute town for me, going off Defense Deoxys, Dewgong, and Shadow Walrein. Very similar to a team I've already shown you guys recently on the channel of Medicham, Dewgong, and Alolan Sandslash. This team has been performing even better for me, and I recommend you potentially try it out if you have access to all three Pokemon. Of course, you can substitute Walrein for a normal Walrein. You could substitute it for an Alolan Sandslash or a Shadow Alolan Sandslash. You could also substitute Defense Deoxys for Medicham, but this variant has gotten me 5 consecutive positive sets, and not only 5 consecutive positive sets, but a 5-0 and 4 straight 4-1. So we're going to look at a couple of the sets here. And if you guys want to watch me utilize this team live, I will go live on Twitch shortly after this video gets posted. And I'll be running it again until we go negative. I'll run it until we go negative, and then I'm going to switch it up, since I like to switch up teams for content purposes. But yeah, expect a couple of videos with this overpowered team as we swap the Dewgong. We land 2 Icy Winds on Medicham, and this is pretty nice, right? Because DD's a really good sponge for Medicham. Not only is Medicham double debuffed, but its charge moves are not very threatening to Deoxys. So I think the Medicham ends up pupping twice here, and then they're going to try and get to a Psychic, which kind of makes sense. I guess they could have just double Psychicked, but they would have been debuffed Psychics. But we come out of here with a ton of energy on our DD. What comes in? It is an Azumarill, and we already know that there's a Nidoqueen lurking back there. So I'm perfectly comfortable just Thunderbolting and dipping, because the Thunderbolt puts Azu near Earthquake range. And we're going to shield up. Gotta probably shield something at this point. We shield up the Play Rough. I overfarm to max energy before I go over 100, and I think our opponent just top lefted right there because he realized it's over. And Shadow Walrein, too scary that time. And despite like swapping Dewgong and being met by a Medicham, right, the farm down with DD was pretty nasty. Like, that's one of the top things about this team, the top situations that it can induce, is luring out Medicham and then debuffing it and farming down with DD. And if there's no Sableye or nothing that can really absorb the energy too well from DD, you're just automatically in a great position. Sometimes you'll see this. If they save swap Medicham, you kind of have to stay in, right? Because this is our best response to Medicham. So I'm willing to just stay in here. Both of my back Pokemon have play against the Alolan Sandslash, so it's not the end of the world if Medicham gets our DD really low. I land another Thunderbolt, and I actually get the counter down. Sableye comes in. I'm not going to allow Sableye to get a full farm down there. That'd be really bad for me. So I immediately swap into Dewgong. I typically use Dewgong as the safe swap. It's a little bit bulkier than Shadow Walrein, but I feel like both have merit as the safe swap. We're able to land the Drill Run. And check out what I decide to do here. I actually double shield. Don't try this at home, kids. But I double shield because I figure I can make this uncomfortable for my opponent, and I could potentially, if I take out this Sandslash, get off an Icy Wind debuff against the Sableye. So that's kind of what I'm going for here. Sableye comes in. I'm going to Icy Wind right away and then swap into Walrein. I am down shields. I go for the Icicle Spear. I think the opponent's only potential win con would have been double foul play, but he actually goes for the return instead. I think that's a bit of a mistake because double foul play would do more. So that's probably the only way our opponent would have had a chance. But now we just simply outpace to return plus foul play. Knock out the Sable guy. And Sandslash does get the farm down, but Don't matter, dog. As Dewgong gets the win. We have the running joke on the channel, if you're new, that we had a really amazing run one time with Quillfish, and we started calling Quillfish Quill God. I think Dewgong is now becoming Dew God, because so far this team has been nearly unbeatable. Let's see if it stays that way. Okay, I jinxed it, because I think this game is a game that goes south, as we have the Deoxys mirror match. Going for the Thunderbolts here, of course. And yeah, pretty boring mirror matchup. You're just kind of going straight Thunderbolt. Gonna let one go through. If you're wondering why my Deoxys is best buddied, it's because I believe it's the rank 1 for Ultra League. So that's why he's best buddied if I build him for Ultra League one day. Power him up. The Thunderbolt comes through. Kind of awkward. Like, I decided not to throw because I figure, like, my back Pokemon are kind of similar, and maybe I'm better off just getting, like, a 1 fast move head start than giving him a 1 fast move head start. And then I'm thinking, oh crap, wait, what if this is the triple counter team? And as soon as I see that normal typing, I'm like, it's Vig. It's triple counter. We lose. And, but we're going to play it out just to see. Who knows? Could be like double counter plus a flyer. You never know. But yeah, going to shield up this body slam to get off my Icicle Spear. And if I remember correctly, I think our opponent might even let it go. Yeah, because he kind of reads that we're probably double ice. So that's game over. You know... Nah, I was gonna say maybe I could have played that out because that was his last Pokemon, so at least I could have debuffed it. But I don't think that would have mattered. He was up a shield, and Walrein was dry. Okay, good lead into Alolan Sandslash. Medi-save swap. The last opponent did a slight misplay where they allowed us to throw first, and then they started throwing energy. This opponent makes the right play. They eliminate that 1-turn swap in essentially by throwing first. That's a tip I often give people. Can really make a difference in a game sometimes. Another move coming through from Medi, Mr. Medi. Nothing fancy from us. We're just going to throw our Thunderbolt right away. Put some pressure on the Medi. And wanting to keep some health on my Deoxys, I actually swap in Dewgong to catch the Ice Punch here. And I'm assuming Sandslash is going to come in to greet our Dewgong. And this way we still have a little bit of health on DD we could potentially use later. Opponent allows me to throw first here, which is kind of nice. Drill Run, gets a shield. At this point, I feel like Dewgong's already done his job. Already got a shield. I'm just going to throw this right away. Put the pressure on the opponent. Kind of a situation where you disregard move timing. You just want to make sure you get off that move as soon as possible. And he shouldn't be able to completely farm down. Thought he could with the Noctowl apparently, but now the game is just over. Because we land the Icy Wind, we can swap in Mr. Walrein. And our friend Mr. Walrein's going to go for a complete Powder Snow down here. Noctowl does reach a move, but I'm having some fun. I'm thinking I live this. Save our shields for next game. And we CMP on the Earthquake. This time I'll shield. And we're joking in the chat. Respect to the opponent. Don't let your opponent 2-shield flex. Even if you're going to lose the game, do what you can. Do not allow them to 2-shield flex on you. I would have thrown my move as well if I hadn't already top left it at that point. But yeah, man, I'm a big fan of I've always been a fan of Dewgong, but now with access to Drill Run, it just makes it a lot safer. A lot safer. Shadow Quag. All 3 of our Pokemon have play, but like it also can threaten all 3 of our Pokemon, so not like the most comfortable Pokemon to see. I decide to Psycho Boost here, and I'm probably going to dip into my Dewgong. We get a shield, which is kind of nice. because I'm already up a shield, I thought maybe he might bait. And I called it incorrectly, so that hurts quite a bit. He tries to catch the Icy Wind on his Sand Slash. I was a little bit patient there. Able to get off this Drill Run. Do I get to another move? Ooh, I do. That's pretty nice. I don't feel like it's worth shielding here. And I thought I might even live an Ice Punch, but I don't. So we're going to go for the counter down with DD. We do lag a turn, which is unfortunate. So because I lag a turn, what I'm going to do here is recognize I probably don't live the Shadow Claw, so I save the energy and swap into Walrein, and there is a Quag. We're going to throw this immediately to threaten the shield or the knockout. He shields. I recognize this is most likely a bait, but I'm just going to shield it anyway. We're able to take out the Quag here on CMP, and now Walrus is up a shield against whatever's in back, and we have energy on our Deoxys, and this is a Sableye, so we're in a pretty convincing position here. I want to say Walrein just straight up wins the ones, but obviously this is more of like a awkward situation where we're low on health, but we have a shield up. Earthquake, boom, knocks out the purified Sableye. And we take the win. Yeah, Shadow Quag, a little bit awkward to deal with. Like, there's not a one correct play. And that's a common thing in Pokemon Go PvP. It's not like there's one correct way to play Quagsire, right? With a team like this. You just kind of got to do your best, figure it out, dance around, be creative, go with the flow. Those are so many little sayings there. And yeah, a 4-1 set. We get a Wobbuffet. And it's on to the next one. Let's see. Fast forward a little bit. And here we go. I think everybody kind of likes debuff Pokemon. So Dewgong having access to that debuff move is just really nice. Opponent swaps Noctowl. Typically, I'm greeting Noctowl with Dewgong. Because what I can do here is Icy Wind and then get like a nice little farm down. I'm not going to undercharge too much because we know how tanky Noctowl is. So I undercharge just a little bit. Because now a Noctowl will get to one move, but it won't get to two, I don't think. So I know I can tank this. I know I can tank this one. And now Slash comes in, and this is a Powder Snow Sand Slash, so this thing's not even going to be able to farm us down. I go for the Drill Run, go for another Drill Run, really putting the pressure on the Sand Slash. But I'm not going to give up Switch advantage, because, right, if there's like a Sableye in the back, giving up Switch could potentially be like a lose condition for me by giving Sableye a huge energy lead. So I just force Sand Slash to expend some energy there. Going to come in with my DD. Uh-oh. And there is Sableye, like we thought might be the case. Gonna shield just to preserve some health, I would assume, yeah. Yep, just going straight for the Earthquake. Let's see if this KOs from here. Shadow, Earthquake, bang. Knocks out the Sableye. And, I kind of wanted to test, I think, if I live this or not. So I let it go. Unfortunately, I don't live, so probably should have just shielded there. Probably should have just shielded there. But we're still in a good spot. And based off how much that Drill Run did, I figured I don't need to shield this one. Should still be able to live. And it was just an Ice Punch. Ice Punch seems to do like almost as much as Drill Run. I guess it makes sense. Stab versus non-stab. And that is a G to the G trainer. It's fun when you find a team that just seems to be really consistent. So yeah, the plan is today, like I mentioned earlier in the video, I'm going to go live and run this team until we get a negative set. We're currently at 5 straight positive sets. And we haven't even gotten a 3-2 set, so they've all been 4-1 or better. Because the last time we saw the Deoxys mirror, it ended up being a triple counter team. we decide to shield up the first. And let's see what happens here. Another Thunderbolt coming through. We're going to let this one go. Unfortunately, it seems the opposing Deoxys has a higher attack than us, so we're aware we're going to lose CMP. Makes things a little bit awkward. Opponent goes for a catch. I Psycho Boost and then look to get out. He shields the Psycho Boost. Really interesting. I commit a shield here thinking I could debuff and the next Stone Edge would do less, but unfortunately a really nice bait by the opponent. Gonna make things a little bit more uncomfortable for us. I land the Icy Wind. Stone Edge coming through. I kind of lost track of energy at this point, so I think I only do one in throw. Perhaps I could have overfarmed more here. In comes Deoxys. At least Deoxys is forced to throw, so that's something. I decide to come in with Wall Rain to get a head start on energy here. Now that Deoxys is debuffed, its moves are less threatening. Does get the Thunderbolt, still does quite a bit, and it's an opposing Dewgong. And I land the Earthquake, and then I'm like, what do I do from here? I needed to Psycho Boost immediately. Awkward situation. I think I played to my win condition until the last moment there. But as you see, even if I had Psycho Boosted, it wouldn't have KO'd. And that's why I didn't throw it right away. Is my thought process was like, okay, if I Psycho Boost, then he probably just farms me down and I get Drill Run. So, although it seemed like I kind of had a win con there, that was one of those weird endings where it's like I felt like I should have won, but I actually don't really know what I should have done. Altaria is not very good for DD, and we have two better answers, so we immediately swap Dewgong. Looks kind of hard counter, right? But this is where Drill Run comes in handy. We actually get a shield advantage right off the bat. Very nice. Dewgong's bulky. He can tank this. I'm just not sure how well he can tank it. And this is where Pokemon with a lot of HP are pretty nice. Dewgong is not only bulky, but has a high HP stat, I believe. So check this out. We're actually going to get to another one right before we go down. And this is going to make the farm for Deoxys a lot more manageable. Gonna eat one. I recognize the opponent might try and give up Switch here to avoid the farm. But because we know that there's an Altaria in back, I'm not going to bother clearing my debuff. I'm just going to stay. I'm just going to stay and save 2 shields for Wall Rain, and he commits his last shield. And at this point, I'm just like, okay. I'm just going to put it all on the Walrus. Play rough. Barely doesn't knock out, so I am able to save a move for later. And yeah, I got to start shielding something. Reggie doesn't quite have a move. And he still has 3 Pokemon, so we just have to be a little bit careful not to, like, screw things up. Earthquake coming through. Bang, does a ton of damage. I probably should have just speared right away. But I figured even if he gets to this move, I can shield farm down and should be in an okay spot. He does get the attack drop, which is a little bit concerning. But I'm thinking even with the attack drop, like 5 Powder Snows plus Icicle Spear should pretty much be enough to get rid of Altaria. I guess theoretically I could have like banked it, but I figured this was fine as well. And yeah, I think Altaria was just reaching the Sky Attack as it went down. So let's say it got off the Sky Attack, we would have had the Psycho Boost anyway, as long as our DD could have survived 1 Dragon Breath there. So a nice little win there, overcoming a tough lead, tough counter swap. And that's the addition of Drill Run, what it can do for your Dewgong. Because if Dewgong's running Water Pulse there, man, that game is probably not one that we win. Solid lead here against Dunsparce. This is where we kind of need to see it. And they swap Jelly. Jelly is tough for this team because we don't have an obvious answer to it. So you really just got to do your best, to be honest. Like, there's not one correct play, I would say, here. So I'm going to go for a Thunderbolt. Going to build up some energy. And then I catch on my Dewgong. Like, it's not the best catch, right? Because this is still going to hurt Dewgong. It's a neutral Shadow Ball. Jelly's also going to outpace here because it's 5-5-4 for Hex Shadow Ball. I'm hoping that I can not get farmed down somehow, like get to a second drill run. It looks kind of like I'm going to get Hex down, though. He actually swaps in Sparse. So, yeah, we're in a tough-looking spot here. But at least DD has a lot of energy that we can start to utilize here. Gonna Thunderbolt after 1 for proper timing. I know Dunsparce is getting close to a move, so I decided just to get my Psycho Boost off right away. Psycho Boost grabs the shield. Nice overfarm by the opponent, recognizing that we were completely dry. Knocks us out. Walrein has a lot of work to do, friends. Walrein has a lot of work to do. I figure Rock Slide will do a lot of damage, so I'm going to shield it up. I was getting ready to throw after 4, and he catches on a Clefable. And because it's running Fairy Wind, and because I know I need energy for the Jellicent, I decide not to throw right away. I let him mash me. I build up the maximum I can. I go for an Icicle Spear. And now I know I need to land the EQ on the Jelly and just hope. Why did I do 4? That was kind of weird. And just hope that my Powder Snows knock out the Dunsparce, and 2 Powder Snows does the trick. And what looked like a pretty bad situation we're able to pull out, though, and that was a pretty cool game. That should be a YouTube short. I think we got 1 battle remaining for the video. Deoxys into Venu. Okay, all 3 of our Pokemon have play against Venu, but at the same time, Venu can kind of threaten all 3 of our Pokemon. So I decided to go for a Psycho Boost in Dip. I'm kind of hoping I get the shield, to be honest. And because I get the shield, I actually swap Walrein, because Walrein can pace faster than Venu. Our opponent counters with Lantern. Of course, I know this might be a bait, but like I don't want to just get one shot by a Thunderbolt, so it's kind of a tough one to make the call. I go for the EQ. Get shielded. And our opponent actually gets greedy and allows me to get this off first. So a bit of a misplay from our opponent. They should have been able to get our shield first. And now Venu comes in and they thought they could Vine Whip down. And this is just not the best game for our opponent, as Walrein is putting on a clinic and able to win that game in pretty convincing fashion. So I'm sure we've all been there where we play a game, we're like, oh my gosh, what am I doing? And Walrein was just a little bit too oppressive for our opponent's liking there. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. This team was able to go 21-4 for me on stream. I don't expect that same type of success today, but we will try and keep going positive with it. And once we inevitably go negative in a set, we're going to switch it up. But all that said, thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed, feel free to hit that like button. Subscribe if you are new. Comment down below. All comments are appreciated. And that said, thank you for watching. I hope to see you in the next one. Peace.